That which has happened is a warning. To forget it is guilt. It must be continually remembered. It was possible for this to happen, and it remains possible for it to happen again at any minute. Only in knowledge can it be prevented. That which has happened is a warning. To forget it is guilt. It must be continually remembered. It was possible for this to happen. While I was still at school, Spinoza was the first. Kant then became the philosopher for me and has remained so. Nietzsche gained importance for me only late as the magnificent revelation of nihilism and the task of overcoming it. That which has happened is a warning. To forget it is guilt. It must be continually remembered. It was possible for this to happen. While I was still at school, Spinoza was the first. Kant then became the philosopher for me and has remained so. Nietzsche, we incline to doctrinism. What makes it worse is that so many people do not really want to think. They want only slogans and obedience. They ask no questions and they give no answers, except by repeating drilled-in phrases. That which has happened is a warning. To forget it is guilt. It must be continually remembered. It was possible for this to happen. While I was still at school, Spinoza was the first. Kant then became the philosopher for me and has remained so. Nietzsche, we cannot avoid conflict with society, other individuals, and with oneself. Conflicts may be the sources of defeat, lost life, and a limitation of our potentiality, but they may also lead to greater depth of living. The public is a phantom, the phantom of an opinion supposed to exist in a vast number of persons who have no effective interrelation, and though the opinion is not effectively present in the units.
In psychopathology, it is dangerous merely to learn the matter. Our task is not to learn psychopathology, but to learn to observe, ask questions, analyze, and think in psychopathological terms. I approached the presentation of Kierkegaard with some trepidation. Next to Nietzsche, or rather, prior to Nietzsche, I consider him to be the most important thinker of our post-Kantian age. When the titanic apparatus of the mass order has been consolidated, the individual has to serve it, and must from time to time combine with his fellows in order to renovate it. Our questions and answers are in part determined by the historical tradition in which we find ourselves. We apprehend truth from our own source within the historical tradition. The more determinately I exist, as myself, within the conditions of the time, the more clearly I shall hear the language of the past, the nearer I shall feel the glow of its light. One who would influence the masses must have recourse to the art of advertisement. The clamor of puffery is today requisite even for an intellectual movement. Nietzsche, driven by the absolute demand of his existential truthfulness, could not abide the bourgeois world, even when its representative had human nobility. Reason is like an open secret that can become known to anyone at any time. It is the quiet space into which everyone can enter through his own thought. Our own power of generation lies in the rebirth of what has been handed down to us. If we do not wish to slip back, nothing must be forgotten. Philosophy means to be on the way. Its questions are more essential than its answers, and every answer becomes a new question. I am optimistic, provided world history does not just roll over us and destroy us. We still have young people eager to learn. Phenomenology is for us purely an empirical method of inquiry maintained solely by the fact of patient's communications. When language is used without true significance, it loses its purpose as a means of communication and becomes an end in itself. Man is always something more than what he knows of himself. He is not what he is simply once and for all, but is a process. The masses are our masters, and for everyone who looks facts in the face, his existence has become dependent on them. There is no limit to the discovery of causes, and with every psychic event we always look for cause and effect. What is today obvious to all is a decay in the essence of art. The opposition to man's true nature as man. Man, if he is to remain man, must advance by way of consciousness. There is no road leading backward. No one is guiltless, but no one is beyond the pale of human existence, provided he pays for his guilt. The teacher of love teaches struggle. The teacher of lifeless isolation from the world teaches peace. All thoughts could be judged by this touchstone question: do they aid or hinder communication? Imminent seems the collapse of that which for millennium has constituted man's universe. The essence of philosophy is not the possession of the truth, but the search for truth. Even the most elevated psychological understanding is not a loving understanding. We are sorely deficient in talking with each other and listening to each other. Philosophy seemed to me the supreme, even the sole, concern of man. Man is always more than what he knows, or can know, about himself. The psychologist who looks for meaning will find content essential.